Hello and welcome to Small Business Monitor. Today we are discussing about a new book published recently on leadership. The book is titled as Leadership in the New Normal. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, the process of technology adoption has accelerated among businesses of all kinds. Lockdowns and social distancing have created new avenues and opportunities for businesses. While business closures and failures increased manifold, it was seen that those who innovated and adopted new models and technologies could survive. But what are the challenges and expectations from leadership in the new normal? In this volume titled Leadership in the New Normal, leaders and business practitioners address a number of issues that matter to businesses and entrepreneurs doing business in the new normal. This book is published by TDW Publishers. New Times expects responsible leadership from businesses. But how can a leader be responsible? What does it imply for enterprises? Leadership in the new normal addresses some of these issues that today's businesses and entrepreneurs have to encounter. Many leaders have contributed to this volume, covering topics such as leadership in uncertain times, innovation, creativity, responsible leadership, and the creation of opportunities, and how to recognize challenges and create a system to take on the challenges. Indeed, challenge in today's new normal is an opportunity for business leaders to innovate and develop new business models. In this book, there are 27 essays and articles contributed by 11 authors. K.S. Ahluwalia addresses a wide range of topics. He has written 15 articles, and topics that he addresses are strategy, innovation, business leadership, marketing and sales in times of new normal and times ahead, and many other issues. To thrive today, one needs radical innovation, perseverance, and persistence. Change is the only certainty in these uncertain times. It's the only one thing affixed in this dynamic and fluid environment, says Harpreet Ahluwalia in her article titled Innovation and Creativity in Business. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. In another article, Vighnesh talks about optimism and business success and calls for building up strategies to formulate strong base for structured inclusive growth. He says that is the role of the state and policy makers. Dr. Rajan Samuel in his article Social Re-engineering at the Bottom of the Pyramid addresses an important issue that concerns enterprises and people at the bottom of the pyramid and how leadership can contribute to their upward mobility. According to him, when we ensure social mobility, we also must consider how to sustain in the long term. With the onset of COVID-19, many families who had climbed the poverty pyramid and risen above the poverty line were pushed back down as the economy staggered to a halt. How do we ensure they stay in the higher category and grow beyond this too? Spirituality in leadership is of critical importance for organizations in the new normal. Empirical studies prove that if a leader in the place of work has a strong sense of spirituality that affects his or her persona, attitudes, emotions, and behaviors in a positive way, and he or she is likely to influence subordinates in a more proactive way to enhance productive capability, says Prasanna Kumar, Productivity is another aspect that leaders have to focus on. In the post pandemic era, people are still unsure of how to get back on track, with sudden loss of productivity and increased psychological issues, making them stagnant. Gunjandeep Singh, in his article 3 P's Purpose, Priority, and Productivity, addresses this very issue. Gurpreet Singh Kapoor talks about leadership during COVID. According to him, this is a change of era where our thought process, culture, business models, eventually the whole paradigm is getting changed. The early we accept and adapt, the early we will ride over. C.K. Viswanath, in his paper titled Responsible Leadership and Combating Climate Change, talks about the need for business leadership to pursue a more responsible enterprise behavior. He says the new normal represents a major transformation which calls for a shift in leadership approach and commitment to the environment and sustainable development. This is where responsible business leadership comes to play. All stakeholders, governments, industries, and their associations, the scientific community, and the consumers must share the responsibility and work together. Policy interventions, green investment promotion, green technologies are all aspects that come into focus in this context. With the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns, there has been a natural progression towards the much needed climate healing and a movement towards a low carbon economy. Digital adoption, quicker transition to Industry 4.0 norms, and increased acceptance and adoption of remote working are relevant trends today. Thomas George, in his article Spirituality in Business and Leadership, says that, that when people subscribe to values above monetary benefits in business and work, this also becomes the ethical assets of the business. There must be genuine consideration for the deepest human feelings and needs, allowing people to find hope and meaning in their lives and work and make meaningful connections. Bhavesh, in his article, deals with a practical issue of relevance. He talks about a strategy for adoption in the building construction sector. He says the environment degradation is a global issue, but it needs to be addressed at the local levels. Local solutions are essential for this. He presents his argument in the article titled Green Building, Combating Climate Change Through Green Practice. The book is published by TDW Publishers. Print copy is available through Amazon and some other online platforms in India as well. The links and product details are provided in the description below. Thank you for listening.